Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 how-to video. This is our fifth and final tutorial in enhancing the PC version of the Carpathian countryside map by Mr. Hectar. In previous videos, we added an optional meat factory, enhanced that optional meat factory for the enhanced animal system mod, added grazing support to the pre-placed and placeable animal pens, as well as added select platinum production items to the sawmill and carpentry shop. All of those videos are linked down in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Maizeplus and adding it to the PC version of Carpathian Countryside Map. This video is optional, but does include the ability to add the Maizeplus fill types to a buy point down at the animal dealer, as well as adding Maizeplus to the production that is here on the main starting farm. So by default, we can do only pig food at this starting farm, but with these additions, we can also produce horse food, sheep food, chicken food, graingrist, and beet pulp as well. In addition, we're going to be demonstrating how to install and make use of an optional add-on to Maizeplus that is provided from Mr. Hectar, linked down in the description below to his Google Drive. But before that, this video is brought to you by Nuka-Cola and Mark Bauer. Thank you for being farm barons. Now, some general disclaimers and background information. This video is going to show you how to edit the files included in the map. Doing so will result in the game telling you that the map is out of date and will present you an option to update the map via the in-game mod hub. Do not update the map, because doing so will wipe out all of the changes that you are about to make. In the event that this map is actually updated by Mr. Hectar, he will be posting information on his Facebook and YouTube pages as to what you may need to do or may not need to do to progress your changes into that new version of the map. While the changes that we are about to demonstrate are not difficult, it is imperative that you follow these directions exactly how you see them portrayed here in the video. Doing so otherwise will result in the map not working correctly. Now, while there are also countless ways of performing these tasks correctly, I have chosen this specific method as I feel it is the optimal for the average player. But if you do know of a better way of doing it, or you prefer doing it a different way, then by all means, go ahead. I will be recommending the use of a secondary application called 7-Zip. It is perfectly safe to use, and I will have a link to download that down in the description below. I will not be able to support any issues as a result of trying to make these changes in the comments section of this video. There are just countless variables that could go into play as to why something may or may not be working for you. If you do find that you do run into issues, all I can say is pull up the backup copy of your map and try again. Once again, working to complete these steps exactly how you're going to see them portrayed here. Now, the next step we want to do is we want to make a backup copy of the map itself. We do not want to edit the only copy of the map just in case we do make a mistake. We will have a clean copy to revert back to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my map itself, Carpathian Countryside. I'm going to right click. I'm going to say copy. Then I'm just going to click on my desktop, right click and paste. And that is then going to put a copy of that file onto my desktop. And that's where we're going to keep that. We are not going to touch that copy at all until we are completely done. Once we know everything works, then we'll go ahead and delete our copy. First thing we want to do is click on the Google Drive link down in the description below. That's going to take you to this page here. This is a companion mod for Maizeplus and enhanced animal system that Mr. Hectar has put together. So go ahead and find this icon on that page and click download. That's going to download it to your downloads folder. We're going to take a look at that here in a little bit. Now, just to reiterate, these changes are completely optional. You could load Maizeplus and use it on the map exactly how it's delivered from Giants without any changes to the map itself. But what changing the map does do is it allows you to purchase the specific Maizeplus additional fill types down at the animal dealer buy point, so you don't have to put down your own buy silos on the farm. And two, will modify the pig food recipe at the main farm's factory in order to work again with the new Maizeplus pig food recipes. So we're going to come to our map. We're going to right click, go to 7-zip and open archive. From here, we're going to go to placeables. Then we're going to go to selling station. And we're going to find our selling station livestock market. We're going to right click and we're going to go to edit. From here, we're going to search for, once again, you've seen the other tutorials. We're going to search for our opening bracket to comment, which is going to be right bracket, exclamation, and then 2 dashes. And that's going to jump us down real quick to the code that we're going to need to edit. Now, the note here says enable if using Maizeplus. Also add these fill types all the way over to carrots. So chicken food underscore diuka, pig food 2 diuka, sheep food diuka, horse food diuka, power food diuka, hay pellets diuka, feed pellets diuka, graingrist diuka, minerals diuka, brewer's grain, beet pulp, and carrot. So we're going to add all of those fill types to the loading trigger pig food above. So we're going to come up here until we find loading trigger pig food. And we're going to add those fill types to this list. So wheat, oat, pig food, and mineral feed is how you're going to find it. We're going to click between the D and the quote. We're going to hit space, and then we're going to hit Control V to paste those fill types in. It is very important to make sure that you do have a space between mineral feed and chicken food diuka. Okay, make sure that space is there. Let's come back down here to our section, and we're going to want to remove this opening bracket comment right by the fill type chicken food diuka. And we want to look for the closing bracket, which is down here by fill type of carrot. Once we do that, we're going to save the file and close it because we are now done editing that portion of the map. We're going to go up one folder. We're going to go to grain storage. We're going to go to grain storage.xml, right click and edit. Once again, we're going to look for our opening comment bracket. Enable if using Maizeplus. So we are basically defining a horse food production. So what we want to do now is look for the closing bracket. Once again, now we are defining a production. So we can expect that closing bracket to be somewhere around a closing production. We're also defining sheep food here in that production. Chicken food. And then here we have that bracket right here. Closing bracket under production. And then we have a closing productions bracket. So we're going to search once again. And here we have the storage extension. Basically, we're defining what can be stored in that facility as well. So let's add the additional fill types that we put in for our new custom productions. Get rid of that closing bracket right by beet pulp. Then we also need to add oat, hay pellets diuka, mineral feed, minerals diuka, and carrots to the unloading trigger fill types listed above. So let's copy that. Right click, copy. And it says add these fill types also to both unloading trigger fill types below. Okay. So we're looking for unloading triggers. So here we have unloading trigger. So we want to go space and Control V to paste in. Again, make sure we have a space between potato and oats. Then we have unloading trigger fill type production point 2, because this production point has 2 locations where you can unload. Space after potato, then Control V to paste that in, just like that. Then we have one other note, also add these fill types to the unloading fill triggers below. Let's go ahead and add those. Right click, copy. And down here, we're looking for loading station, loading trigger, and then fill types pig food. We're going to click there between the D and the quote. Once again, space, Control V to paste those in. So let's go back real quick and summarize the last few changes we made. We added oat, hay pellets DUCA, mineral feed, minerals DUCA, and carrots to the unloading triggers. Unloading. So we came down here and we had unloading trigger and we added that. And then we had a second unloading trigger and we added that again. Then we added horse food DUCA, sheep food DUCA, chicken food DUCA, and grain grist and beet pulp to the loading trigger. Okay. I know it can be a little confusing. If you're not paying 100% attention, we have unloading trigger, 2 changes, then loading trigger, 1 change. And pig food was the only thing listed there. We wanted to make sure we put a space there. We added a horse food DUCA, sheep food DUCA, chicken food DUCA, grain grist, and beet pulp. With that, let's go ahead and close this file. We're also going to make the change to the grain storage placeable.xml here. Again, under placeables grain storage, right click, edit. We're going to find our opening comment bracket once again. And we're basically repeating the changes that we just made to the already pre-placed grain storage. So we are commenting out this section, or uncommenting the commented out section. So we're making it active for the production. And then we are adding some additional fill types. We're going to move that back out. Then we're going to add these fill types to the unloading trigger. So we're going to highlight that. We're going to hit copy. And here we have the unloading trigger. We're going to have to do this twice. So we're going to go to potato, space, control V. And then unloading point 2, space, control V. And then we're going to add our horse food and beet pulp all the way to there. Right click, copy. And we're adding that to the loading trigger, which right now just has pig food. And once we've done that, again, making sure we put a proper space between the old fill types and the ones that we have added, we're going to close this and update the map. Close the map out. Now let's start talking about the custom changes to the Maizeplus and Enhanced Animal System mods. Back over to our download folder. If you recall, we previously downloaded the Maizeplus Carpathian Countryside zip file from Mr. Hectare's Google Drive. We're going to right click on that. We're going to go to extract all. We're going to extract all those contents. And then we're going to take the FS22 Maizeplus animal food add-ons and we're going to put that into our mod folder. Just like that. Now, what this Maizeplus animal food add-ons mod does is it takes and separates out the animal food requirements from Maizeplus into its own mod for easy adjustments. And Mr. Hectare has gone in and made his own adjustments to the animal food requirements, not only for Maizeplus, but also for Enhanced Animal System. So it's better together, if you will. Just indulge me for a moment. If you do Maizeplus, then you probably want Enhanced Animal System also for those additional animals. Well, Maizeplus by itself does not have settings for the additional animals of the Enhanced Animal System. So you'd end up with food requirements from Maizeplus for the base animals and food requirements from the Enhanced Animal System for the enhanced animals. What this does is it merges them all together and makes a single place so all of your animals are basically going to have a common food type. So all of your cows are going to work out the same. All of your sheep and goats are going to work out the same. Your chickens and ducks are going to work out the same, as opposed to having different food requirements for chickens and different food requirements for ducks. So if you are going to be playing with Maizeplus, this is highly suggested to be added in. And definitely if you're going to be playing with Maizeplus in Enhanced Animal System, it is almost an absolute requirement. That way you don't pull your hair out. Now, something else that is included with the Carpathian Countryside Maizeplus is that Mr. Hectare has made some unique icons associated with Maizeplus. And if you like these icons, better than the ones that are delivered from Maizeplus directly, well, then we can add these into the Maizeplus mod. So we're going to come to our mod folder. We're going to right click on Maizeplus, 7-zip, and open archive. From here, we're going to go to data and then HUD. And this is going to be all of the fill types that are part of the Maizeplus mod. Coming back over here to our icons for Maizeplus from our download folder, we're going to highlight all these. We're going to drag and drop. Yes, we want to add them to the archive. And now we're going to close Maizeplus out. And we are ready to try this all out and see how it all works in game. So let's go ahead and start a new save since we made all of these changes. We definitely don't want to be corrupting an old save with these changes. Be sure to add Maizeplus and the Maizeplus add-on options here. We'll pull up the log and watch things load in. This is where we're going to be looking for warnings or errors. And that way, if we do happen to see any warnings or errors, we're going to be able to cross-reference where those are in the map and then go back and triple check our changes and see if we can't fix things. And if all else fails, go grab your backup and go jump back to the start of the video and work through them once again. Take your time. It's not a rush. If you need to pause the video, if you need to slow the video down in order to make sure you get the edits in the right place, then by all means, go ahead and do that. And with the map loaded up, we didn't see any warnings or errors. So let's go ahead and jump over to our production screen and see that we now have not only pig food able to be produced in the base game or the base map starting farm production area. We also have the ability now to make horse food, sheep food, chicken food, graingrist, and beet pulp. So that all is looking the way it should. And if we jump over to our animal dealer buy point now with a trailer, you're going to see that we now have, in addition to the fill types that we had before, Deluca mineral feed, carrots, Deluca concentrated feed, mineral feed, Deluca sheep feed, Deluca hay pellets, Deluca grain grist, brewer's grain, Deluca chicken food, pig food, Deluca beet pellets, beet pulp, Deluca horse food, Deluca pig food, and then back to wheat. So those new fill types have been added to the buying station down here at the animal dealer as well. Now, another mod that, while not required, is highly suggested for anything with Maizeplus, because Maizeplus makes a drastic change to the animal food requirements, is a mod called Animal Food Overview. And in fact, I'm going to be adding this mod to my default mod list for map videos going forward, because it helps show very easily what foods are required for each specific animal. So let's go ahead and pull that up. And now we can see for cows, our base food is going to be grass silage, maize silage, wood chop silage, Deluca concentrated feed, grass conditioned, grass fresh, milk, total mixed rations, realistic beef cattle, young stock, and dairy cattle. Then our roughage is going to be animal hay, grass conditioned milk, blah, 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 blah. And we continue on down here. Moisture food, we have potatoes cut, potatoes, sugar beet cut, carrots, brewer's grain silage, beet pulp, fresh maize, and the list goes on. Like I said, Maizeplus drastically changes how you feed your animals. And this particular mod goes a very, very far way in helping understand what you need to do in order to get healthy animals with the additions of Maizeplus and with the Maizeplus add-on that Mr. Hector has provided. It kind of merges all of those things from enhanced animal system, new animals, the food requirements of Maizeplus, and then also kind of tweaking the food consumption from enhanced animal system. If you remember, we did that in a previous tutorial directly to the enhanced animal system mod. Then all of that is combined into this one Maizeplus animal add-on mod that we added here in this tutorial. It kind of merges it all together to hopefully a point where everything is a bit more easier to understand with respect to playing with Maizeplus, playing with enhanced animal system on this Carpathian countryside PC version. So guys, let me know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to our tutorials here, because we have done a fair bit of tutorials, 5 in total for this particular map, and really to make some pretty significant changes to how it is delivered even for PC players. We demonstrated how to add a meat factory, an optional meat factory, to the map. We demonstrated how to add enhanced animal system to the map, how to add the enhanced animals from the enhanced animal system into the meat factory. We also demonstrated how to add select platinum productions to the sawmill and carpentry, as well as how to add, from this video alone, Maizeplus, buying additional Maizeplus fill types, and merging enhanced animal system and Maizeplus into a more comprehensive, easier to use system. And then we also learned about how to add grazing support to the placeable and pre-placed animal pens. Go ahead and check out all those other videos down in my how-to playlist. We'll try to link to those also down in the description below. And until next time, happy farming.